Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Tomorrowland. So Disney did a great job at leaving a whole lot in the dark about this film. I virtually knew nothing about Tomorrowland going in. Not really the plot, I didn't know what it was about. I just knew it was based on the Disney ride. And unfortunately, after seeing the movie, I understand why they tried to keep it mostly under wraps. But let's start off with the positives of the film. I thought George Clooney was good, but Britt Robertson was better. I thought she really stole the show. She was much better here than she was in The Longest Ride earlier this year. Also, Rafie Cassidy is the little girl. I thought she was very good. Tim McGraw continues to try to be a dad in Hollywood, as he had a nice minor role. And then Hugh Laurie was pretty good here as well, trying to break out of that house mold he's created for himself. But the cast all did well. Amongst the cast, there was no weak link to me. So kudos to them for selling the material. And I also enjoyed the messages of the film, no matter how in your face and over the head they beat you with them. It's all about positivity and staying optimistic and staying positive. And it was a little bit too cheery for me there, but we'll get into that later. But it was also about environmentalism and saving the planet and the way that humans work, the way that we ignore what is happening right in front of us. The news tells us bad, 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 and we seem to relish in it and feed into it and love it, even if we're afraid to admit it. So instead of actually working toward solutions, we kind of willingly not only accept, but run toward our own demise. But finally, probably the biggest positive is the visual effects. It looked fantastic for the most part. If you've seen Oz the Great and Powerful, I think that this movie is very comparable to that when it comes to the visual effects department. Some of the lands they create are just fantastic. They really did a great job of bringing the Disney theme park ride to life and trying to flesh out a story. And overall, the story itself was okay, but really it served as a vehicle to make you want to go to Disney World as fast as you can get there. But the visuals also are going to kick off our negatives of the film. So while overall they did a great job of the visuals, every now and then it was just so CGI that you could tell person standing in front of a green screen. And that is when it became distracting. They did a good job of really trying to hide it and really tweaking the visual effects to make them look as realistic as possible. But sometimes it's just inevitable when you are working completely with CGI. Outside of that, there's a lot that I did have wrong with the film. First is the tone. It was so in your face about being optimistic and being hopeful. And part of that is that this is aimed at a much younger audience than I had anticipated. It looked like a teenage to young adult action adventure from the commercials with the chase scenes and the robots. Turns out it skews very heavily toward children and smaller children even. Adults will find a few chuckles or find a few things funny or cute, but overall this is a children's movie. And I wasn't anticipating that, and maybe that's why I was so thrown aback and in the end disappointed by Tomorrowland. But the tone is just so ha 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 ha. And it was so like corny jokey all throughout the thing. And they also tried a really weird narrative device from the beginning pretty much through to the end. The middle lets itself just play out in front of you. But it's so terrible. And the exchanges between Britt Robertson and George Clooney in these little narratives are so bad. They were cringeworthy. I was like, oh my gosh. And overall, the story is generic. And it's a problem that I think Disney can have recently, is that they are not able to really flesh out all that much in here. It's a pretty generic storyline. We've been here before. We've seen it all before. And I think the biggest problem is that it suffers from the fact that it's based on a ride. It's based on a place inside of one of their theme parks. So essentially, this is just a big commercial for the Disney theme parks. And it's hard to create a cohesive story, a realistic story, something we all can buy into and can make a 2-hour film out of when you're only working on an amusement park ride. And it was really evident here. They were successful with the Pirates of the Caribbean, not as successful with the sequels. And here, unfortunately, it turned out to be a very uneven pace and feel for the movie. So ultimately, Tomorrowland was a letdown. If you have small children, sure, go take them to see this. It looked great in IMAX. The visuals really did pop up out of the screen. And you will be very delighted at the visual treats you're given. But if you're looking for anything more than a pretty children's movie, Tomorrowland is not the one for you. So I say, definitely only worth a rental. So, that has been my review of Tomorrowland. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Tomorrowland? And what is your favorite live-action Disney movie? Let me know in the comments down below or hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!